Hey, hey, hey. Happy Saturday. We are here. We are live. I like to come on every other week or so and just share a little bit more about myself. And I like to break down the nuggets from the week. So there are 4 to 5 posts going on throughout the week, and they're usually connected if you haven't noticed that yet. And so I like to just come on and take a moment to bring the week together in one moment. This is my opportunity to let you know a little bit more about me, to let you a little bit more into who I am, and to just share my heart with you in another way, from another perspective. So please tune in, like, share, comment, be engaged. I try to check out as many comments as I can, and we'll try to respond to them. This is new. I am trying out this new platform. Now, you may have noticed that I used it once before, but now I have some new features. You see, I have a banner going on. So we are definitely making progress. Hello, hello, hello. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for tuning in. Joining me. Thanks for tuning in. Today, I am going to be talking about birthing season. All week, I've just been talking about the birthing process. I've been talking about this being the 9th month, which is the season of birth and new things. I've talked about the 9th month and the 8th day of the year. There was some significance about that day for me. That was actually a day I launched a new website. I will be putting the link up, but I actually got a brand new URL and I put the content in because that was the 8th day of the 9th month, which means that we were talking about a new beginning within a birthing season. I hope you caught that. A new beginning within a birthing season. And so this whole week, I've just been energized, empowered by the idea that this is our season to birth out some new things. This is our season to open our mouth. If you listen to the podcast was talking about my favorite movie, one of my favorite movies, Sparkle. And we talked about how in Sparkle, there was a naysayer. There was somebody who didn't recognize the power and the anointing and the call on Sparkle's life, but yet she was able to persist. She was able to go forth and do what she was called to do because it was a birthing season. She was able to, in spite of the naysayer, she was able to listen to some new people. She was able to listen to some other people and to walk forward into the things that she was called to. And it reminded me of the words that we see in Ezekiel. I'm going to paraphrase, but in Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 27, it basically says that when you open your mouth and say that this is what the Lord has spoken, this is what thus saith the Lord, that there will be some people who listen. And there will be some people who don't listen. And it says that those people who don't listen, that they're reckless, that they're rebellious. And it really struck a chord with me because so often we have something that we want to birth out. We have something that we want to share with our world, with our communities, even with our families and our loved ones. But we have a closed mouth. We're bound by shame. We're bound by guilt. We're bound by so many things that are holding us back from opening our mouth. We're not sure what somebody is going to think. We're not sure how somebody is going to respond, and so we hold it back. We're not sure if people are going to support us, and so we hold it back. But when we do that, we're causing a disjustice, a disservice to those people who are called to the very thing that we carry on the inside of us. And so the word says that when the Lord gives you a word, now notice that there's a difference between the word you give yourself and the word that he gives to you. So when he gives you a word and you open your mouth and speak out that word and you say that I am speaking what thus saith the Lord, there will be some people that listens. It also says that there are going to be some people who don't listen, but that shouldn't stop you because those rebellious people are not the people that are called to you in the first place. And so my encouragement to you today is just think about what it is that you need to birth out. What is it that is on the inside of you that needs to come to pass in your life? What is it that people are waiting on? What are you carrying that you are not allowing yourself to birth out? Well, this is a new season. This is the time of new beginnings. This is the time of birth. And this entire month, I've just been really thinking about life. I've been thinking about life. Guess what, y'all? Because tomorrow is my birthday. I will be celebrating another year of life. And so when I woke up on September 1st, the only thing ringing in my spirit was life. Life. And the fact that we have life, the fact that we have breath in our bodies each and every day is another opportunity to birth out a thing. It's another opportunity to embrace a thing. It's another opportunity to endure something new. And because we have life, because we have breath in our bodies, we've got to birth out what's in us. We can't hold it to ourselves. We can't keep it to ourselves, because when we're not doing what it is that we're called to in this season. So yes, as you are putting on the screen, put on the screen, this is my birthing season. And let me tell you what happens when you're in your birthing season. So when you're in your birthing season, you allow yourself to be opened up. What did I say in the thing for today, or in the description? You open yourself up to new possibilities. On Thursday, I released a blog post. And in the blog post, I talked about how I made a decision that was an unpopular decision to somebody that was close to me. And I was thinking about a very specific decision that I made years ago, about 22 or so years ago. And it caused some tension in my family. It caused some discomfort, but it was a decision that I made for me. And when I made a decision for me, even though it was an unpopular decision, even though, like Sparkle, which we talked about on Tuesday, who was living out her own dream and not listen to what her mom wanted her to do, if I would have listened to my other family members, I would have lost out on some possibilities, some new possibilities that were for me. I would not have the husband that I have. I would not have met him, because the decision was a decision about a sorority. Well, the decision that I made to join the sorority that I joined connected me to my husband. It connected me to the possibility of meeting a different set of people, of starting my own circle. And when I opened my opportunities for new possibility, I also gave myself a chance to meet new people. I also gave myself an opportunity to meet new people. And as I thought about that, I also thought about the fact that that decision that I made, I didn't discuss what decision it was in a blog post, because as I was writing, there were more than one decision that came to mind. There were some other things that came to mind. When my husband and I made the decision over 13 years ago, over 14 years ago, actually, to relocate from Pennsylvania to Florida, from Philadelphia to Tallahassee, there were some naysayers. There were some people who doubted what we were doing, because we had small children. All of our children who were residing in the home at the time were 5 and under. And they thought, how in the world are you going to do that? That doesn't make sense, to leave everything and everybody you know, to travel hundreds of miles away, to be alone and to be isolated. But we made a decision to expand our minds and to birth out something new. And when we did that, we were able to shift our minds to new perspectives. When we shifted our minds to new perspectives, we had so many more open doors. And now we've been here, we've been stabilized for over 14 years. Let me tell you how amazing that opportunity was. So sometimes our decisions that we make won't be popular amongst the crowd. They won't be popular amongst our loved ones. But when we're called to open our mouths and speak what thus saith the Lord, he is speaking to us what he is revealing to us for our own lives. So he may not speak that same vision into somebody else. He may not speak it into your parents. He may not speak it into your girlfriend. He may not speak it into your bestie. He may not speak it into your boss. But if he speaks it into you, then you have to open your mouth and stand in faith and stand in agreement and say, I am going to press, I am going to persevere in my timing and my anointing and my calling. Other people may not understand it, because that's what he talks about in Ezekiel. He says some will listen and some won't. And those that won't are rebellious. It doesn't mean that they are rebelling against you. It doesn't necessarily mean in this context that they're rebelling against the Lord. It just means that they're not called to be with you in that season. So we've talked about opening up your mind to new possibilities, and opening up your mind to new people, and opening up your mind to new perspectives. It's going to take some shifting that everybody can't understand. But when you understand that you were called for something greater, Jesus, when you know that there is something stirring on the inside of you, you've got to birth it out. You cannot hold that to yourself. You have to know that there are some things that are going to be birthed inside of you that not everybody can help you to push out. Everybody cannot be in the delivery room with you. How many of you have had loved ones? How many of you have had children? How many of you have had other people in your life who have had children, or who have birthed out children, who have birthed out a thing? There are only, especially in this season of COVID, Jesus, there are only a certain number of people that can go into the birthing room with you. There are only 1 to 2 people that can be in that space with you if they're not the doctor or the nurse. Everybody cannot be with you in this birthing process. Everybody cannot be with you in this birthing season. And so my question to you is, are you open? Are you open to recognizing that this may be a small season of isolation when you have to turn away from some people in order to do the things you're called to do? It doesn't mean that you have to turn away from them indefinitely. And it doesn't mean that you turn away from everybody, but you have to be selective about who walks out this birthing season with you. Because as you're birthing something, you have to keep in mind that you are birthing what he has placed inside of you, that some will understand and some won't. And because they aren't there, because they don't understand it, doesn't mean that you don't continue the process. It doesn't mean that you don't push, press, and persevere in the process. So my encouragement to you is just to be open. Say, Sia, thank you for joining us. My encouragement is just to stay open to new possibilities in this season of birthing something new. Stay open to new people. God will send people into your space to help you to birth some things out. Because keep in mind, the people that are there may not be the people to go into that delivery room. So think about it. If you are at a hospital and you're birthing out a child, there's going to be a nurse that you've never seen before that helps you, Jesus, to help you birth out that baby. So there may be somebody coming to connect with you in this season that's going to be somebody who is new to you, that's going to be somebody you've never connected with, that needs to help you to birth out the thing that you're carrying. So don't despise the new people that are being sent into your life to help you birth out the thing that you are being called to birth out. Don't be so stuck with what you've heard in your mind. I've talked about the movie Sparkle. Sparkle had her mom, of all people, telling her that she should not sing, that she should not go forth in her call and her anointing. So even though there are some things that have been spoken over you in the past, even though there may be some people that walked in your life that don't understand what you're supposed to be birthing out, that doesn't mean that you're stuck there. It doesn't mean that you let them stay in your mind. This may be a time for you to shift your perspective and know that you are called into something new, that there's a mindset shift that has to take place in order to do something different. You may have to think something different. You know the saying, if you always do what you've always done and you expect to get a different result, that is definitely the definition of insanity. And in that time, you have to be willing to step outside of yourself and do something different. You have to be willing to share your heart with people. You have to be willing to share your story with people. You have to be willing to to listen to other people and to do something different. And so I hope that this has blessed you. I hope that this has encouraged you. I have shared some things about me that have allowed me to see that there are some decisions that have to be made sometimes that are hard decisions that people don't understand, decisions that people cannot necessarily accept. That does not mean that you don't move forward in those decisions. It simply means that you must shift some things. It simply means that you have to understand that there's a difference between those who will listen and those who don't. And don't get stuck on the people who don't listen to you. They're not called to you. You're not called to them. Be ready to birth out what has been placed inside of you. Be ready to shift. Be ready for new perspectives. Be ready to embrace new people. Be ready to embrace new possibilities. If he has placed it inside of you, then it will come to pass. Press and persevere in this time. I love this shirt. When I got it, when I saw it, I said, I've got to get it. Own today. We're talking about this birthing season. This is your opportunity to own what has been placed inside of you. And I need you to own it today, because tomorrow is not promised. Yesterday is past. Today is your day to move forward into manifestation. Own today. What decision will you make today? What unpopular decision will you make today that will help to push and to propel you into your purpose? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that looks like, but I am willing to stand with you in this birthing season. So if you want to connect with me, go ahead and send me a direct message and I will stand with you. I will pray with you. I will walk with you. I will listen to you. I will brainstorm with you. We will strategize together to get you to the other side. We will help you do what it takes to get the job done. You are not meant to be in this alone. So in this time, in this month of September, which is the 9th month of the year, which is, for me, it's the month of life. But in the world, it's the month of birthing new things. It's the month of birthing something out of you. So I don't know what ministry is inside of you. I don't know what business is inside of you. I don't know what book is inside of you. I don't know what story is inside of you, what testimony is inside of you that you have been unctioned to share. You know that there's something every time you wake up, before you go to bed, when you hear certain buzzwords, there's something that stirs on the inside of you that says, I need to push something out. I need to get this outside of me. I don't know what it is, what foundation you need to start, what you need to sow into, but there is something that has to be birthed in this season. It can be a podcast. It can be a blog. It can be a worksheet. It can be anything. It can be a relationship. It can be a birthing a new season of forgiveness. Maybe you're holding on, harboring some unforgiveness that you're not letting go of that needs to be released. Well, when you are willing to let go, when you are willing to release, when you are willing to surrender, you are willing to commit to what has been spoken into you, there is so much that can come out of it. And so my encouragement today is to endure, to press, to persevere in this birthing season. Open your mind, be willing and ready to shift in new possibilities, shift into new people, shift into new perspectives so that you can birth out what's already been placed inside of you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. If you have been blessed, if you have received anything, drop a comment and just let us know how this has blessed you. Let me know what you are going to birth out in this season. Let me know how you're going to own today. Remember, tomorrow is not promised. So you can't say, oh, I'm going to get to it next month. Oh, I'll get to it at the start of 2021. This year was just too hard, and so I'm going to wait. No. This is the season. Right here, right now, today. This is the time for you to birth out that very thing that's on the inside of you. This is your opportunity to grow. This is your opportunity to achieve. This is your opportunity to excel. And so let's get it done. And no, you do not have to walk alone. Again, send me a direct message. You can email me at mylifeonthebeam@gmail.com. We can connect. You do not have to do this alone. we will stand in the gap together. If you have anything, any questions, let me know, and we will be here standing with you, believing with you, standing in agreement with you and my entire MGM family, my entire Sword community, my entire Life on the Beam community. We will be standing in the gap together. I will be standing with you. I will be praying with you that you own today and that you birth out what is stirring on the inside of you. Peace.